The sun was setting over the lush green garden of a British colonial bungalow in India, casting long shadows among the vibrant flowers and towering trees. The bungalow was home to a small, happy family. William, a British man, his wife, Clara, and their curious little boy, Teddy. The garden, their oasis, was alive with the sounds of chirping birds and rustling leaves. But that evening, something was different. As the family gathered for their usual evening stroll, Teddy noticed a small, shivering creature near the edge of the garden. "Mama, Papa, look!" he cried, pointing to the bedraggled mongoose lying on the ground, half drowned from the previous night's storm. Without hesitation, William scooped up the mongoose. "He's a brave little one, surviving that storm," William said. "Let's call him Coda. He'll be safe here with us." Coda, though weak, opened his eyes and looked at the family. He felt warmth, safety, and something else, a stirring deep inside, a sense of purpose. As Coda grew stronger, he explored every inch of the garden. But something troubled him. The garden, though beautiful, held a secret. A dark corner where even the bravest creatures feared to tread. It was here that Coda first encountered Alakan, the majestic black cobra, and his equally formidable wife, Nika. One evening, while chasing a butterfly, Coda found himself near this forbidden corner. The bushes rustled, and out slithered Akan, his hood flared, eyes locked on Coda. "This garden belongs to us," Akan hissed, his voice like a whisper of death. "You have no place here." Coda felt fear grip his heart, but he also felt a determination not to flee. "This garden is home to my family," Coda replied, standing his ground. "I will not allow harm to come to them." Nika emerged from the shadows, her eyes sharp and calculating. "You are brave, little mongoose," she said, her voice softer but no less dangerous. "But bravery alone won't protect you from what's to come." Coda knew he had to be smart. He couldn't defeat the cobras by force alone. He needed to understand them, outthink them. The days passed, and Coda noticed that Akan and Nika never ventured beyond their dark corner, yet they watched everything with a keen eye. Coda, being the clever mongoose he was, began to observe the cobras from a distance. He learned their habits, their patterns, and most importantly, their weaknesses. Then, one day, as Coda watched, he overheard a conversation that sent a chill down his spine. "We must strike soon, Nika," Akan said. "The mongoose grows stronger every day. If we wait too long, we'll lose our chance to reclaim the garden." Nika nodded. "Yes, but we must be cautious. Coda is not like other creatures. He is clever." Coda realized that a confrontation was inevitable, but he also knew that brute force wasn't the answer. Instead, he devised a plan. One that required patience, precision, and a touch of cunning. The night was dark, with only a sliver of moonlight illuminating the garden. Coda knew it was time. He quietly moved towards the cobra's lair, his heart pounding in his chest. But he wasn't here to fight. He was here to deceive. Coda began to rustle the bushes and make sounds that echoed through the night. It was a trick he had learned from the birds, mimicry. The sounds he made were those of a much larger animal, one that even cobras would fear. Akan and Nika slithered out, their hoods flared, ready for battle. But instead of Coda, they saw only shadows and heard the menacing growls that seemed to come from all around them. "What is this?" Nika whispered, fear creeping into her voice. "We've been tricked." Akan realized too late. Coda, unseen, had already moved to the other side of the garden. With the cobras distracted, he quickly gathered the family and led them inside the bungalow, locking the doors behind them. Just as the cobras realized they had been outwitted, the garden lights flickered on, and William stepped out with a lantern, scanning the garden. The sudden brightness startled Akan and Nika, who slithered back into their dark corner, defeated but unharmed. The family, now safe inside, praised Coda for his cleverness. "You've saved us, Coda," Clara said, stroking his fur. Teddy hugged him tightly, his little hero. But Koda knew this wasn't the end. He had learned something crucial that night. Akon and Nika weren't evil, they were just trying to protect their own. The real threat was the growing fear and distrust between them. The next morning, Koda did something unexpected. He approached the cobra's lair, but this time not as an enemy. He carried with him a peace offering, a small piece of food from the family's breakfast. Akon and Nika, wary but curious, accepted the offering. In that moment, a silent understanding passed between them. They were not so different after all. From that day forward, the garden was no longer divided. Koda, Akon, and Nika found a way to coexist, each respecting the other's space. The garden flourished, more vibrant and alive than ever before, with all creatures living in harmony. The family never knew the full story of what had transpired that night, but they knew one thing for certain. Their garden was a safe haven, thanks to the bravery and wisdom of Koda, their little guardian. And so, the story of Koda, the clever mongoose, and the wise cobras became a legend, a tale of courage, intelligence, and the surprising power of understanding. A story that reminded everyone that sometimes the greatest battles are won not with force, but with cleverness and compassion.